Hello, how are we doing? I'm Tess, and I'm going to be your host for today. I am a coach, consultant, and founder, and I teach managers how to get promoted at work and leaders how to love what they do. And today, we're talking about workplace reviews, specifically what to do if you've had a shit one. So it's that time of year. We've all got reviews coming out of our ears if you work in certain types of businesses. So let's get straight into it. What to do if you've had a shit review. So, first of all, this is for you if you've had a shit review, but it's also for you if you've had some feedback that's come through that's caught you off guard. If you suddenly feel really defensive, really angry, really jealous, really annoyed, um, and also if you're ready to try something different. And also, it might be that the review wasn't really, really terrible, but just that it could be better. So, a quick bit about me. I'm Tess, like I said, leadership coach, marketing consultant, and founder of Light Me Up. I teach managers how to get promoted at work and leaders how to love what they do. Through my training, I have helped people secure multi five-figure pay rises, fast track promotions, redesign their roles, and even transition out of the 9 to 5, having discovered their passion. I've got 17 years across some of the biggest names in real estate and finance, and basically, I have condensed down everything I know to help you into easy, accessible formulas to follow to help people, to empower them with the tools they need to redesign a working life that lights them up. And I do that through holistic happiness, through the 6 key pillars of life. And I leverage the incredible, powerful combination of science, strategy, spiritual principles, and a little sprinkle of magic. So, before we start, leave judgment at the door, get honest with yourself, get curious. We're going to go quite deep here. But first of all, take 3 deep breaths. If you've got a lot going on for you at the moment and you can't really concentrate, you might want to pause this and come back another time. Also, don't get in your own way. Let's go for it if you can. But we're going to start with taking it 3 deep breaths. So we're going to close your eyes. We're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to hold it at the top for 3. I'm going to breathe out with a big sigh. So in through the nose, hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. And again, in through the nose. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Big sigh. And again, in through the nose. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Now you might feel like a bit of a tit doing that. Open your eyes. But I promise you it helps. It's really good for us to calm our nervous system. It also helps us to be present, which we need to be for the next about 10 minutes or so. So we're going to go through what does a shit review look like, and then basically what to do. And there's a sort of 5-step process behind that. So first up, what does a shit review look like? So it can start with negative feedback. And these are the kind of 2 most common complaints that I get: negative feedback and poor quality feedback. So negative feedback, obviously, is very negative. It might feel personal. You might have reacted in a really visceral way to it. It didn't feel good. Maybe it made you get defensive. We've all been there. Maybe it felt unexpected. Maybe it felt like an attack. Maybe you felt completely blindsided by some of the comments and it didn't feel fair because you weren't prepared with a response. Or the other side of it is maybe you got really poor quality feedback. Maybe it wasn't grounded in anything. Maybe it wasn't specific enough. If sometimes I used to get a lot of feedback that was like, you need to be more strategic when I first started working. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? Why does nobody told me the specifics of it? So it might be poor quality, it might be really negative. Whatever it is, this is what you need to do about it. So first of all, allow yourself to feel it. If you feel pissed off, lean into it. Whatever it is that you feel, lean into it. You are going to feel certain kind of ways. I had many a review. By the way, I have had 70 in my working career, over 70, I think. So I know a thing or two about it. But yeah, lean into whatever it is you're feeling. I used to come back feeling like super, really defensive, really angry, really frustrated that these things were kind of blindsiding me, that I had no time to prepare my response to the answers. It felt really unfair, I guess, like there was an unfairness about it. So write down all the things that were unfair or whatever it is that you're feeling. Why are you feeling these things? What are all the emotions that you're feeling, and all the things that you all of the bits, the feedback that you got. And then write down why you feel these things are unfair. Why do you feel a certain way about it? Why are you having this kind of reaction? Is it showing that your manager isn't as close to your work as they could be? Is it showing that you don't communicate with them enough? Is it showing that you're the problem? Is it showing that they're the problem? What is it? Why do you think you're having this response to it? But feel into it, lean in, get curious, like I said at the beginning. And one of the best things that you can do is take some time to reflect a week or two after the review. So, what happens is when we get some really negative feedback or something that triggers us, we have an unconscious reaction to it. That's when we get really angry. That's when we cry. That's when we shout. That's when we have all the feelings. Totally normal, but it's an unconscious reaction. And what we need to do is come down from that unconscious reaction and get ourselves into a place where we can consciously respond to something. So take the time to reflect on what was said and why it made you feel a certain way. Calm down after you've allowed the time to reflect. Um, have a think about what comes up now. What is the reality? Was it actually as negative as you thought? Because our brain does this very clever thing where it really clings to all the negative stuff. So first of all, reread your notes. Was what good stuff was mentioned? How bad was the bad stuff? You know, is it actually a really important constructive criticism? What were the specifics of the negative feedback? Like I said, do you find yourself getting defensive? If you find yourself getting defensive 10 times out of 10, it's because it's true. And this is a really hard pill to swallow. I spent many sort of post review being incredibly defensive, and it's because it was all true. There is nothing else for it. So we just have to lean into that. But yeah, is that why you're defensive? Is it because it's true? Get curious. Why did it hurt so much? Is it triggering something in you? Is it uncovering a limiting belief? Is it playing into a story that you tell yourself? What is it? Was the feedback personal? There's a fine line between constructive criticism and destructive personal attack. So if you're feeling like it's something really personal, then, you know, dive into that as well, lean into that. Just get clear about what it is. Um, and was it out of the blue? Did you feel blindsided? Is that what it was? So, like I said, was there any truth in it? And is that why it's a hard pill to swallow? Next up, craft your questions for the follow-up. So, after your reflections, craft a set of questions for a really positive follow-up. So, yes, you felt a certain way about it, but what we want to do is we want to open up the lines of communication so that you can have your say, but also so that you can better understand where the feedback came from. Because if it's true, then this is actually constructive criticism rather than negative feedback. And we need to listen to it, let's be honest, if we're going to, progress in our career or in our working lives. So you might want to say something like, so to your manager, or whoever gave you the feedback, I'd like to revisit some of the feedback given in my review. Please, can you elaborate further on X, Y, Z, or tell me what you would have liked me to have done in X situation instead? Or that was a bit of a shock. Can you tell me when you first noticed me doing or not doing the thing that you talked about? Can you tell me why you didn't mention this before in our last conversation? For example, in our last conversation, I thought things were really good. Use them as the basis to build a way to reach out to them to continue the conversation. Get closure and clarity. The hardest pill to swallow often is a lack of clarity. So if you think the feedback is unfair and ungrounded, ask for this follow-up session, but prepare. Like I said, do it after you've calmed down emotionally. So after that unconscious reaction has come back down, bringing in this conscious reaction, you can turn it into a really positive career building conversation. So, you know, you can stand up for yourself in a really positive, non-confrontational way. When X happened, by doing X, I thought I was doing the right thing because of whatever. So when you mentioned this in my review, I was a bit confused. Please, can you help me to understand what you think I should have done or said? And ask for clarity and closure. Can you give specific examples? It totally depends on what the bit of feedback is, but get them to be specific. Please, can you help me to understand what you think I should have done instead? Please, can you give me specific examples of where you think I did or didn't do this thing? Can you give me examples of what you would have liked me to have done? Stuff like that. And then use the feedback to your advantage. Feedback is a gift, so use it. If you're still feeling really frustrated about it, channel the energy into proving your manager wrong and use it as an opportunity to get closer to them, understand them and why they said these things. What is it people give feedback from their own perspective. So what is it from their perspective? Can you show some empathy and put yourself in their shoes? Why do you think they said that thing? And then maintain good communication. So we are going to use this to open up the lines of communication with you and your manager. So maintain these, keep the lines open, talk to them more, let them in sooner, check in sooner, be more honest, over communicate. There is no such thing as over communication. Be open to feedback, ask for it before the task for the next couple of times. Hmm. For example, this has happened. I was going to do this. Do you think that's the best course of action? If not, can we chat through why not? Or this has happened. I think the best course of action is this. Do you agree? Blah, blah, blah. Take it from there. And if you want to make sure this never happens again, one of the other things you can do is watch our other masterclass, which is how to smash your quarterly review. Or you can join the Leadership Accelerator. So if you want to go deeper into any of this, if you're wanting to step into leadership, if part of the reason that you're really frustrated about having a shit review is because you wanted to get promoted at the end of the year or something, you can work with us in a different way around the Leadership Accelerator. And within that, we help you create a bespoke leadership blueprint. So, in order to step up into becoming a leader or to get promoted or to get the recognition that you deserve, you need to become a leader. So, we need to start thinking like one, start acting like one, start behaving like one, and becoming one, but one which feels like you, not trying to become someone else. And this is what we do. This is what we teach you in the Leadership Accelerator. And then, like I said, we help you create your own leadership blueprint. It is designed to be affordable, achievable, accessible, and I keep you completely accountable. It's heart-centered. We start with you. We're going much deeper on what we've started today. We've kind of scratched the surface of some stuff. We go much deeper. We talk about who you are, what you love, what you're good at, because this helps us identify your zone of genius. And then we build from there. And the point is, once we've found your zone of genius, I've done this myself, I've done this with many people now. We don't have to chase the promotions and the recognition. It comes to us naturally because we are working from a place of what we love and what we're good at. And it's just so much easier. What else do? We mix coaching techniques, guided visualizations, and reflective exercises to go deep. But importantly, we do this with practical strategies that you can implement today. We talk about things like how to conquer your mindset. So if you're ready for something new, you want to reframe some limiting beliefs, you want to cultivate a growth mindset, you want to shift your paradigm, collapse time and become the leader you want to be in the future now. And if you don't know what the hell that means, this is definitely for you. But it's also around those that are spiritually curious. So we leverage the incredible power of science, strategy, and spiritual principles, as well as a sprinkle of magic. And we do this by leveraging the power of the laws of the universe. And importantly, we tell you what your manager won't. And this is all about how to actually get promoted at work and how to actually step into leadership. So, like I said, if you want to go more, if you want to learn more, if you want to go deeper, click the link below in the show notes to find out more about the Leadership Accelerator. Back to where we were, a quick summary of how to get past a really shit review. So allow yourself to feel all the emotions, get curious about them, take some time, pause this now to reflect on how you feel. If it's really, really recent, take a bit of time to reflect. So one thing you will, like I said, you'll have an unconscious reaction initially that will soon subside, at which point you can have a conscious response to stuff and you will feel differently about it. Craft your questions for the follow-up, open the lines of communication, use the feedback to your advantage, get clarity and closure, and maintain honest and open communication with your manager. And that is it, my friends. A short, sharp, sweet look at how to Get past a really difficult review. We've all been there. We've all done that. It's totally normal, but use it to your advantage. If you've got any questions about this or the Leadership Accelerator, all you need to do is drop me a message to tess@lightmeup.club. But apart from that, all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching and for being here. And hopefully I'll see you again in another one of our masterclasses. Take care. Thanks. Bye.